apologize. There are lots of times where I think about my future and I feel like I just see a void and there's nothing there. Because it's really odd to anticipate my future. But perhaps there is something there besides just sitting in my room, because I want to do a lot of things. Lots of studying. Not exactly studying, but experimenting like a mad scientist in this castle. That's what I really want to do. I just want to experiment a lot, and I guess I'd also like having a family of my own. It feels so unlikely, but I love them. I would, but I don't think that'll happen. So I could even experiment with my son. I could actually foster ideas in him, unlike my family never fostered any ideas in me. I had to foster all the ideas myself. And I got the internet. I guess that fostered ideas within me, but no one outside of a screen has ever really fostered anything in me. So that's unfortunate, I guess, for some views. And yeah, but sorry, I sort of lose track. But anyways, I think it would be wonderful if I could teach my son like how to do woodworking, computing, teach him how to create things. Not exactly alchemy, but sort of like alchemy, just to give the kid a lot of ideas and make his mind more expansive beyond what the average person has, which is just nothing. It's just surrogate activities over and over with commuting about the same shit over and over again, over and over again. Not exactly, I don't think that's as bad, but it's just... I can't explain it, but no regular, like full-on regular people, I don't know, perhaps it's just for me never really interacting with them too much, besides my family. It's just odd. Like from any age group, I guess it's easier for me to speak to the ones that are older, because they're more on par with me, but even then it's just odd. Quite a bit odd, because they have all these experiences which I don't think I'll ever have. I'd really want to, like I said earlier, but I don't know, have a family, and I just don't think I'll have that. Yeah, of course, I'd have to try and find a good job as well, and I don't know, maybe I'd do it. I'd build computers, I'd code, I'd do something, like I'd gain all this education. But there's no real happiness in gaining all this education. I could only really find real happiness inside of a house, maybe with family, and just experimenting with things, fostering ideas, and I'd be good to my children. I wouldn't really scold them too much unless they do something really bad without knowing it's bad. Of course, they need some scolding because it's mentally there. It's just a mental requirement. But I was so afraid of being scolded as a child that I just dropped out of everything. Because I think, if I have friends and stuff like that, I'll get into trouble because they're going to foster these ideas into me, and these ideas are going to be bad. And to avoid getting yelled at, where I feel this weird tingling feeling, I don't like it. It's a bad tingle. It's a bad tingle. So to avoid that, I just dropped out of everything for the most part. And now, by many accounts, some people just think I'm insane. And perhaps they're right, because now I don't really hear things. I'm starting to get lots of psychotic symptoms, and sometimes I hear things. I think last night I heard bell towers and things like that, and it's odd, but it's okay. I can live with it. And if I do manage to have a family, I hope it doesn't hinder anything. I just hide it, I guess, for the most part. Uh, I don't really know what I'd tell my kid about my youth. He'd have lots of ideas, I guess, and not really ideas, but inspirations, tons of things regarding it. He'd probably be a lot like me. And my father, I do live with my father, but I'm not much like him. I know around the age that he was, like when he was my age, he had many friends. He was some, like stoner skater, and I think he held parties. He did like all the basic things that 2000 and early 2000s, late 90s kid would do. And teenager, not kid, but or teenager, but the same term still applies. But here I am, just being a terminal autist inside of my room all day, avoiding talking to anyone off of the computer, and it's just been my life for 6 years. And even before that, I was so disconnected from everything. It's now I'm just not connected at all, but I had some levels of connection, and I guess this would instill in people suicidal ideas, and I guess I do have those, but I don't feel a need to act on them. I need a real reason to act on them, so I just stay alive. Of course, I guess it's good to stay alive so I can find some hope in this life, or and something to do, maybe achieve the goals. And if I find someone like me enough, I could actually have a family. It's so unlikely. But I guess I can't reveal that. But anyways, I have to think about more things for this, and I can't think about much things because I already recorded a whole other episode, a whole other Chronicle. But I guess I'll upload that later, maybe the day after tomorrow or tomorrow night. And I have the microphone put up against my mouth now, so I see on the lines that it's actually picking up, and I'm less paranoid than usual, so my voice is fluctuating more. Because when I'm paranoid, it goes a lot like this, like how I usually talk in these videos. Because I am quite paranoid the whole time, like my family's listening in on me, and there's tons of things like that, and I don't really want to think that way, but I'm forced to think that way, and I don't even know if I don't want to think that way. I put these ideas in my head, but I don't have a defined stance on the ideas that I put in my head. For a good amount, I do have a defined stance on many things, but an ideas that randomly pop in my head, like whatever I said earlier, because I just forgot it. My memory is very good and very bad at the same time. I remember so many things, yet I forget others so easily. And, yeah, I remember last night I had issues, and I was on a call, and that was like one of the few times I've actually been on calls. I've called my cousin, I've called a few people on Discord, or was a girl on Discord, but I really appreciated that. She's probably listening right now. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, just like one of the few times I actually talked and called for prolonged amounts of time. Because now my cousin, he just gets on TikTok, like the last time I was with him, and he's just on TikTok the whole time. He can't really even communicate. I'm starting to get into TikTok, but I don't want to get too much into it, because I'm just gonna maybe get addicted, and I don't want that, because I just turned a complete normie cattle. But it is nice seeing TikTok and just getting the ideas from it, more study of humans, more things like that. Because if I do manage to have children or something, the study of humans becomes really, really important. It's like I could actually probably give my kids like quite a good life, even though mine is, I guess, bleak and all that. But I think I could. I, it, yeah, not to mention I have lots of money to my name, I guess, and yeah, I have that too. So that's a bonus, I guess, and uh, but I don't really know how I'd help them socially. Maybe I would. I feel like if I have a mother, she'd be like the mother to the children. She would be more social, so she could help with that. Just lots of things, and I'd provide lots of good things. Play with my children, do lots of things. So much I can't really list them all. I do feel as if that would be joyous. There's lots of times where I felt joy, but I can't really describe it. There was this one time. This wasn't actually joyful. I guess I was quite sad. But it was when I think I was either in fourth or fifth grade, and I think it was not really seventh period. Seventh period didn't really exist back then, but that was a time where it was easing into the period schedule, so it was some sort of proto version of that. So let's say last hour of the day, before going to back home, and inside the room, it's one of those more relaxed rooms. There's all these different types of chairs in classrooms. So I was sitting on one of those, and I think some girl or some boy tries to talk to me, and I really don't like it. I really don't like it at all, and I start crying, like having an actual meltdown. But during it, I forgot lots of the details, but to avoid, I guess, shame and humiliation, I say, "They're cries of joy. They're cries of joy." I was just bawling my eyes out, and I just sat there, crying in my chair. They're cries of joy.